Hello friends, I'm Nilesh Bhattad, founder and CEO of cleancarbon.ai. If we want to understand how the carbon tax will get calculated or how much is the actual impact, so there are three critical numbers or the factors that we need to consider. Number one, what is specific embedded emission which happened in your production process. Second is how much ton you are exporting to Europe, and third is the carbon rate. So if you multiply all these three numbers, you are going to get the tax. So there is one more piece which is called as benchmark. So benchmark is not yet released by European Union yet, but specific embedded emission above benchmark and then multiplied by this ton you are exporting multiplied by this rate will give you the actual number or the actual tax that you need to pay. Now, if we want to understand what are the penalties, or if I don't submit the CBAM report, what will happen? So penalties are from 10 euros to 50 euros per ton of emission that you are doing. So for example, if you are exporting say 1000 tons and if your penalty amount is 50 euro per ton, so your impact would be 50,000 euros. That is how the penalties look like, and that's why it is mandatory to submit the CBAM reports in the specific timelines. If we want to understand the timeline, it starts with January. So for example, January, February, March, this is a quarter, and the reporting for that particular quarter is in April. Okay, so like for next quarter, April, May, June, reporting is in July. So every quarter you need to follow these timelines and dates to submit the correct CBAM report. About the CBAM certification, submitting the real data. So anyways, like as I mentioned, submission is mandatory. So purchase of CBAM reports will happen in January 26, but with the omnibus in picture or the omnibus regulation, they have given the relaxation for 1 year for purchasing the CBAM certificate. So you will have to report from January 26, you will have to calculate the taxes from January 26, but the payment or the purchase of the certificate can be done in 27. So you might have heard about omnibus package which was recently introduced by European Union to simplify this entire CBAM process. Okay, and there are few critical changes which happened. Number one, that they have increased the threshold. Okay, so now the new threshold is that as an importer, if you are importing more than 50 ton of the goods, then only CBAM is applicable to you, and it has reduced more than 90% of the companies from the reporting compliance regime. Okay, so now only 10% companies out of the total companies in Europe need to report. So this is the major change. And second change which they introduced was the relaxation for the payment of the tax or purchasing of the CBAM certificate. So now instead of purchasing the certificate right away in first quarter of Jan 26, they can purchase the certificates in 27. And now to make sure that you are able to continue your business in Europe, as a exporter to Europe, you need to make sure that you are compliant, you are calculating your emissions, you are reporting them on your time. As an exporter, your job is to support your buyer in Europe so that your buyer in Europe is able to upload that data which he is receiving from you, and that's how you can make sure that you are CBAM compliant, and you can use this as a marketing tool as well to promote and make more business in Europe. Now, to understand the role of technology or how to make it simpler, we need to make sure that this data is correctly calculated, correctly stored, and correctly processed. And I think technology plays very important role, and that's why we have built this platform called as cleancarbon.ai to help companies like you do the reporting, do the compliance in easier and faster way. Thank you, friends. So it was a simple explanation. We'll come back again with more details and more information on CBAM. Thank you.